Hey guys, welcome to this next episode of brand storytelling. And today I'm going to talk about the role of emotions in brand storytelling. I'm having a bad throat, so I might cough in between. Please bear with me. I want to make this video. I have a bad throat, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's do it. Let's see how it goes. And the importance of storytelling in brands, we all understand it. I'll give you a very simple example. Recently, I was traveling to Varanasi. In fact, last week I was traveling to Varanasi in a flight, and you get your boarding pass. I got my boarding pass on my mobile phone. Now you get digital boarding passes, and there is your seat number on that. A question that I want to ask each one: if you just reflect, put a hand on your heart, and how many times do you look at your seat number before you actually go and sit into a seat? It's just a seat number, and you just keep on forgetting that seat number. Now imagine we are going and bombarding people with data in our presentations, so much of data, a few slides that we put out, it's filled with data. What are they going to carry back with them? Another analogy I'll give you, there is the story, the hare and the tortoise, that was told to us in the school. How many of you remember that? We remember stories from our school days, but we forget data in just 1 hour. That's what happens to our presentations. Our presentations are forgotten because we're just talking data, and we're just talking features, and we're talking about ourselves all the while, and we're forgetting all the stories. So brands need storytelling, and storytelling is not about a tagline. For example, Nike has a tagline called "Just Do It," and that tagline is not just a brand, advertising message that's put out there. It's not about the celebrities that they're just bringing in. The real fact, if you go on their social media page, go on their LinkedIn, and you will find that every week they're putting out stories of their own employees, how they are shifting their life with sport, how they are involving their own families, and how their lives are shifting with the sport. Now, this is happening whether it's their own employees, and they're talking to consumers, their customers, people who are buying the products. And they're talking to people like you and me, not people who are runners or, but ordinary people. And they carry those stories on their social channels. And you will find that those stories connect with us. And then those emotions come with us, because just do it means a lot. It means a lot in shifting lives. And personally, I've seen my life shift with that one slogan, just do it. So that's one thing. If I look at another organization, Charity Water, in a very different space, beautiful storytelling, just visit their Instagram page and you'll find they do one of the best storytelling in terms of visuals. It's a visual storytelling company. You see their images which come on Instagram, and you'll find that every day they're carrying stories of how people's lives are being impacted by the intervention of Charity Water, by water coming to them. And you see those visuals, people looking at the camera, looking at you, looking at your soul. And that's how you connect with that brand. And that's why you contribute to Charity Water. That's why they build that tribe. That's why people connect with Charity Water. Let's look at some of the things that are very essential to keep in mind when you're trying to build. What are the key elements of building emotions in brand storytelling? The first thing I would say is authenticity. Very essential. You need to be authentic. Let's take the case of Mr. Ratan Tata. Recently, he passed away. We saw the love that he got from people. The people, really, the respect that he gets, the love that people have for him, and the space that it's almost felt like a personal loss. Everybody had some kind of an emotion for this person. And that was because who he was. It was not a put on. It is the person. It was the person who he was. You saw so many stories about the stray animals and how he supported them, how he supports them. That's what Ratan Tata is. That is what he was as a person, and that reflected on his brand, and that was the brand of Tata's. It just reflects all over. It's a brand that's built on trust. It's a brand that cares. And that's what he was about. The humbleness of that person. No arrogance. A leader in the real sense. People loved that leader. That's the kind of person that you need to have. He respected people. And that's authenticity of Ratan Tata. That's what reflected on all the people. He was authentic. Relatability is another essential trait. That's very essential in the brand. When you're doing a brand storytelling, the brand stories have to relate to the consumers, to your customers. Whether you're in a B2B space or you're in a B2 space, it's very essential. For Nike, as I give an example, it has to relate, right? Nike, what it stands for, because that's the soul of Nike, what it stands for, that has to relate with its customers. There has to be consistency in storytelling. Very essential again, because if you're not consistent about it, people are not going, you're going to forget. And then if you, many of the brands I see that they have conflicting stories which are coming, which carry absolutely different kind of values. You cannot have conflicting stories. Yeah, there has to be a consistency in your storytelling. That's another very important factor. And one important thing that I would like to leave you with, you need to be vulnerable as a brand storyteller. If you want to bring in emotions, be vulnerable. Recently, we had an example of Ola out here, the electric scooter, and there was the founder of the company got into an argument with a stand-up comedian, and there was a big spat on. Instead of taking a feedback that there was a lot of people are struggling with servicing their scooters, this person took it on very personally, and the founder took it on very personally, and he got very aggressive with and started passing comments on the stand-up comedy, and it just absolutely blew up. I don't know who was the PR person, who was looking at the corporate communications. Just absolutely off the cuff. This is not the way you do it. You don't have to be arrogant and be out there. You need to be vulnerable. If you can make mistakes as a brand, own it up and correct it. That's what he should have done. And if he did not do it, you saw the impact on his share, on his personal brand, and going back, it started impacting his the brand of the organization. Very essential that you need to be vulnerable. When you make up mistakes, just be honest enough to own it. This is what I want to leave you with today. Emotions play a very important role in brand storytelling. Don't make dry stories. Bring in emotions. Really feel what makes you feel as a founder. Whether you are a founder, whether you are a marketing team, whether you are a salesperson, any person out there who's doing and who's looking at bringing in that brand storytelling to build their brand, you need to bring in that emotion. Start looking at what you're feeling. Don't just make up stories. Bring in that feeling into your stories. And when you do that, you will find that your audience connects. There is empathy and the audience connects, and that's when the shift happens. That's when you start building the brand with brand storytelling. What are your thoughts on this particular video that I shared? Emotions. What's the role of emotions? What do you see as the role of emotions in brand storytelling? Leave your comments. Many others can benefit from that. Thank you.